Have you ever wondered what secrets a forgotten object could hold? Imagine discovering a small item from the past, something that seems insignificant at first glance, but turns out to be a time capsule, unlocking decades of memories. This is the story of a purse lost by a teenager in the 1950s, hidden beneath the school floorboards for over 60 years, only to be reunited with her family in a moment that was nothing short of extraordinary. Welcome to this unique journey, where a single purse holds the key to a piece of history, revealing not only the life of a young girl named Beverly Williams, but also offering us a glimpse into a time long gone. In April 1959, a 13-year-old Beverly Williams, a student at the Clear Creek Independent School District in League City, Texas, unknowingly dropped her purse, where it would remain hidden under the school floorboards for over 6 decades. Life moved on. Beverly grew up, married, and had a large family of her own. But the lost purse, with all its contents, remained buried, until one day, the past came back to life. The story starts when the Clear Creek Independent School District began a search for Beverly Williams, class of 1962. The district had been trying to locate her family after finding the purse during a renovation. After hours of searching through school records, they couldn't find anything under the name Beverly Williams. It seemed like a dead end, but that's when something remarkable happened. The district made a public appeal for information on social media, reaching out to anyone who might know Beverly or her family. Within 24 hours, the tips started pouring in. Genealogists, amateur private investigators, and concerned citizens worked together to solve the mystery. It didn't take long before the school district found out that Beverly had been using her middle name all along. It wasn't Beverly Williams after all, but Andrea Beverly Williams. The search had finally led them to her family. So, who exactly was this young girl, and what made this discovery so important? Well, it turns out Beverly had a fascinating life, and her family's connection to the purse is filled with sentimental value. Beverly, born in 1946, grew up with 3 sisters, and at the time she lost the purse, she was a typical teenage girl with dreams, friendships, and a world full of possibilities ahead of her. The purse she dropped was more than just a handbag. It was a snapshot of her teenage years, capturing moments that would have otherwise been lost to time. As time passed, Beverly went on to marry and have 9 children. She eventually moved to California and later to Washington, where she passed away in 2015. Yet, despite her many years of life, the purse, filled with the small trinkets of her youth, was never seen again until now. The reunion was emotional for her family. Beverly's daughters, Rhonda Dorr, Andrea Sanchez, and Deborah Hicks, were all present when the purse was finally handed over to them. Rhonda, in particular, couldn't help but smile at the thought of how small the purse must have seemed to her mother, who had carried it in her youth. For the rest of her life, this is absolutely by far the smallest purse she's ever carried, said Rhonda. I really wish she was here to see this. She would crack up at this. Inside the purse, they found pieces of Beverly's life frozen in time. There were photographs of her as a baby, her calendar filled with social events and dance invitations, and even a journal. The purse was like a scrapbook of her youth, a vivid reminder of the moments she once cherished. One of the most poignant items in the purse was a note from Beverly's mother, signed Mrs. Frank Williams. It's a touching reminder of the bonds between mother and daughter, and how much those small details matter when time passes and memories begin to fade. Other treasures in the purse included 2 invitations to dances, a Valentine's Day dance, and one just 2 weeks later. These invitations, handwritten and barely larger than a wallet-sized photograph, felt like they came straight out of the 1950s, representing a simpler time when these small details of life meant so much. But there was more. Among the mementos were old photos of Beverly and her siblings, an intimate glimpse into her childhood that had long since been forgotten. The photos included snapshots of her as a 9-month-old baby and pictures with her sisters Sharon, Linda, and Lonnie. These were the kinds of memories you would normally keep in an album, not buried under a school for decades. There were even the names of people Beverly had known, names like Walt Davis, Robert Charles Schleyer, and others from her life at school. Schleyer, now still living in the area, recalled his friendship with Beverly. He spoke warmly of her, sharing how her warmth and kindness had impacted his life. "Beverly had real significance to me," he said. "She was a lifesaver. The love, warmth, the kindness just exuded from her." Perhaps the most unique item in the purse was a civil defense card, a reminder of a very different time in American history. The card, issued to Beverly during the Cold War, contained information on what to do in the event of a nuclear attack. It was a strange, yet important piece of history, a relic from a time when nuclear threats were at the forefront of every American's mind. Richard Lewis, from the League City Historical Society, said this card stood out to him, drawing a parallel to today's drills for active shooter situations. It was a stark reminder of the world Beverly grew up in. As it turns out, this purse's discovery was even more miraculous, because the building where it was found was about to be demolished. The school had been scheduled for demolition, but just in time, a group of citizens and local leaders stepped in to save it. One of Beverly's daughter's husbands was instrumental in voting to preserve the building and turn it into a community center, ensuring that the purse, buried under layers of history, wouldn't be lost forever. The purse and its contents were eventually put on display at a local museum for a short period, giving the community a chance to witness the past come alive in a way that few objects ever do. For Beverly's family, it was a tangible connection to their mother's youth, proof that she was once a teenager with hopes and dreams, just like anyone else. As Beverly's daughter Rhonda put it, "As a kid, you think your mom is Wonder Woman, but to hear other people say she was a good person is nice. It's really nice. It's kind of like a smile from heaven." And that's the magic of this story. How a forgotten purse, lost for over 6 decades, was able to reunite a family with their history. It serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most unexpected discoveries hold the key to understanding our past. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.